Hey everyone, here we are for episode 2. We're here at the Blackstone Heritage and Canal Park in Uxbridge, Massachusetts. So this run is not for the faint of heart. It's a pretty challenging place, whether you're here to run, hike, or mountain bike. Hunting is available year-round. I have never encountered any hunting, but make sure you wear something bright. So I had a question asked on Facebook, and it was about running on the trails versus running on the roads. You're naturally going to be slower running on the trails. There's rocks, there's roots, there's a lot to pay attention to. And depending on what you're doing, you know, your everyday training pace versus a tempo pace, it's just going to be different altogether. The fastest place to run is a track. Next fastest is going to be the roads. Trails, you're going to slow down. So I actually did some math, and if I'm doing like a road tempo run, I like to run at the Olympic Trials marathon training pace. So that's 5 minutes and 18 seconds a mile. If I'm here and I'm running on grass or trail, it's going to be 5 minutes and 35 seconds a mile, maybe even as slow as 5 minutes and 40 seconds a mile. So that's a difference of about 5%. If I'm doing my everyday training pace, that's 6 minutes and 25 seconds a mile to maybe 6 minutes and 40 seconds a mile. You might even run up to 9 minutes a mile on the trail. Unfortunately, in terms of bathrooms, no dice. The visitor center is closed due to COVID-19. So also, if you forget your own water, you got it right here. And you got one for the little doggy dog too. So after a hot summer run, one of the added perks of running here is you got this bad boy. Woo. Keeps you nice and cool when it's over 90 degrees out. All right, let's get this started. All right, so I like to start with a loop around the field. Nice and easy. So there's a couple different directions you can go. You can make a right. It's going to be a trail. It's going to lead to a parking lot. So it's pretty finite. Next is going to be a field. This is kind of a maze. I'll guide you through this. And finally, where we're headed is the trail. This is where you'll definitely need my assistance. So as you can see, there's a difference in terms of training pace per mile. If I'm on the roads, roughly 6 minutes and 25 seconds a mile to 6 minutes and 40 seconds a mile. My GPS watch right now says 7:16. All right, so getting ready to cross the road. Be careful. Make sure you look both ways. Cars kind of move a little quick around here. Got the all clear. All right, so here we are entering the trail. Very technical footing coming up. Lots of rocks and roots. This is pretty straightforward so far, but you'll see what I'm talking about very shortly. All right, more rocks and roots. So there's an added caveat to running here, and I like to address which seasons you can run here. I would say this is a great summer and fall place to run. In the wintertime, you're basically ice skating uphill. I would not recommend coming here in the wintertime. And for about half of the spring, you really need those temperatures to rise, or this is going to be pretty muddy and pretty sloppy, and not really safe. So make sure you wait for a couple warm days. I would say 60-degree plus days, and make sure that this is dry and all the snow is melted. All right, so this is the blue trail. All right, so what we're coming up on, this is still blue. If you go down here, Goat Lock number 25. We're gonna hit this up later. This is actually fun. For the time being, we're gonna continue heading up. See, there's a little muddy there. Rained about 2 days ago. Now, if you wanted to make a right here, it is pretty, but this is private property. You go straight, it's gonna lead to a water treatment facility. So, there's only one way to hit this. It's up. And oh my God, is it painful. All right, so here we are, we're going up. My breathing is definitely gonna start to labor. This is gonna be pretty relentless for a while. So keep your stride short and choppy. Watch your footing. It's gonna be a lot of rocks, a lot of roots. And I was talking about how your pace per mile is slower being out here on the trail versus on the road. So right now, my watch is telling me I'm running at 8:15 pace. That's just over 2 minutes slower than I would be running on a flat road at the moment. All right, still climbing. Like I said, this doesn't end for a while. Even if you're here for a hike, this is a challenge. But once you crest over the top of this, you have a lot of options. All right, over that, you can catch your breath a bit. A little bit of a decline now. Let yourself go, nice and loose like Gumby. So you gotta watch your footing here as well. Rocks, roots. But it's nice and smooth in here. This is so pretty. I love running here. Uh-oh. Did you hear that crunch? I have no idea what that was. We can go up here. We're still on the blue trail. Careful. I'm gonna go down. So you can go up here as well. That can get very technical. It's easy to get lost. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to get back down and where to go next to maximize your run. Keep it simple. Get in all the scenery. So this, you're gonna feel like Sonic the Hedgehog. You know how Sonic goes pretty much downhill skiing in all of his levels? That's what you're doing here. Whee! I would be very cautious here. I mean, even for me, you don't want to roll an ankle. You don't want to get yourself hurt, especially if you're not out here with somebody. Oh my goodness, you really don't want to get hurt here. All right, so we're coming at the very bottom of that downhill that I was showing you. If you go right out of this, you're basically heading out of the trail and back from which we came. You go left, we're gonna be re-entering. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to that Goat Lock number 25 that I showed you earlier. That's actually gonna be very pretty, so hold on tight. All right, so here we are. We're gonna go down Goat Hill Lock number 25. We're gonna cross over a little bridge here, get some water to our left. And that's important because if for some reason you get lost, Remember, on the return, you're gonna want the water to be on your right. So be careful at this part. The roots are a little raised, actually. They're kind of off the ground and kind of up in the air. Just make sure you take big steps over those. So it looks like they did some weed whacking on the sides of the trails. That's pretty good. Normally this is single file, kind of overgrown. I did like it that way though. Kind of reminded me of the movie Jurassic Park. You're sprinting through the woods and flying. It's like velociraptors are chasing you. Watch out for rocks and roots again, of course. Pretty typical of trails in New England. All right, so we're coming up on another bridge, and we got some water. This is Blackstone River, and if we get lucky, there's fish down there. Oh yeah. So this gets fun. I like this part. You get to whip around nice and fast. And here's another bridge. They repaired this one. It was pretty beat up at the start of the year. It doesn't really matter where you go here. They all connect. And here's the third bridge. This is where the run starts to get fun. And there's a nice, cool little air tunnel there, pocket of cold air. It's great when it's over 90 degrees out. As a matter of fact, this is a great place to run when it's a very hot summer day. I personally don't like to be on the roads when it's probably over 85 degrees out. I like to be in the shade. All right, so you got some room here now. You're not gonna feel as restricted. It's not gonna be single file if you wanna come here with a friend. Got some rocks, some gravel. All right, running along the river. Water's still a little low, just like last week when I was running at the rail trail. In terms of 90+ degree days, this was the second warmest summer of record. So water's a little low. That river, when there's a lot of water in there, it's flowing, makes a really nice tranquil noise. So if you stayed on this main path the whole time, this is Goat Lock Hill number 25. You're gonna come up to the gate and there's a small parking lot. It's another way to get here. But this is basically an out and back. The reason for doing this is I want to show you the other things. I want to show you that grass field, and I want to show you that trail that I was talking about early on. So I'm just going to turn around here. There's a couple places you can go, left or right. Some of them don't lead anywhere. I'll let you know as they come up. So here's a spot. This is still blue. You can go left here. It doesn't really lead anywhere though. It just leads to a parking lot. You can go right, and that'll eventually get you back here. So we're on the return, and see this little spot right here? It's dry now, but in the spring, or when there's a lot of rain, that's gonna flood out a little bit. All right, remember, 3 bridges. At this point, I don't think there's a side trail you can take. So just hang on tight, run along the water. Second bridge. And finally, the last bridge. Watch out for the roots here, they're a little intense. Ooh, water's not really moving. And so in order to get out of here, we're gonna head up here. We're gonna make a left. As you can see, the cat's out of the bag. Other people run here too. All All right. Like I said, a left, continue. Don't take any turns. Just stay right here. And I'll take you through that maze next. Still continuing straight. Watch your footing. You do not want to fall in this place. Whew. All right, so here we are. We're exiting. We're gonna cross the road again, and it'll take you through that maze. All right, looking around. Come on down. This is just gonna hook right. We're gonna continue on this for a little bit, and then we're gonna make a left onto the grass. All right, so take a left over here. It's a beautiful day outside. People are here with their families. When I run here in the heat of the summer, pretty much have this whole place to myself. But make sure you stay to the left over here. Continue straight for a little bit, and then I'll show you what happens next. All right, so you keep coming. We're gonna turn right because if you continue straight, it's gonna lead to a dead end. So I'm gonna show you where that right takes place. And it's just here, because if you go that way, it's just gonna lead to a riverbed, and it's gonna stop right then and there. So you can continue over here. This is probably one of the most fun parts of this run. I love it. Kind of reminds me of high school cross-country running, when the courses were, especially the championship races, the courses were kind of like this. But just want to make it clear that if it does rain, this is going to get pretty marshy. So all right, continue straight. You can go right. It's going to take you back to the entrance of that field. And if you decided to go left, it's just going to take you to that riverbed I was telling you about. And not much happening there. So here we are. Little benches every now and then you can sit on. This is guiding you, so you can't make any wrong turns here. All right we go. Just continuing straight. And then we're gonna go left, which is gonna bring us back to that open part of the field. And I'll take you to a little bit of a trail. So left over here is a dead end. This next left is where we want to go. Another pocket of cold air, which is much appreciated on a nice summer day. And the footing is pretty solid, unless it's wet. But on a day like today, this is perfect. Your chances of slipping and falling are pretty low. All right, so don't go right here or take any unexpected turns. It'll actually turn into a little bit of a maze. You might get turned around. It's gonna be this right here. You'll know because the soil will be black. Now this can get really messy. Lots of roots in here. Be very careful. Watch your footing. And like I said, when it rains, this place is gonna get extra muddy, extra slippery. I would be very cautious here if it's wet. There's a mud spot. Be very careful. That's gonna be very slick. All right, so here we are. We're coming up at the end. And if you were to take a left, you can continue down and back. That's just going to lead to another parking lot. If you go right, we're heading back to where we parked. Nice straight shot. You'll be able to see the bridge in the distance, and that's when you know you're almost home. All right, so it's a left over the bridge, and we're going back to the parking lot. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And that's video number 2. Have a good day. Bye.